Early in the morning,
Welcome back to the channel, guys. You already know who it is. It's your boy Cam, Topical Juice. And guys, I'll be honest with you, I'm back with a very exciting video. And I don't mean exciting for you guys personally, to be honest. I mean exciting for me. And the reason I say that is because I never thought I'd ever do this. Never. I never thought I would open up about my mental health to people that don't know me, people that I've never met. I just never saw this coming. That just proves that I'm in such a different place these days. Remember what I said in my Q&A? I've never been happier than I am right now. Don't get it twisted. I'm fully learning about myself to this day. I only realized not long ago that I actually suffered quite badly from depression in my life. I refused to believe it. Growing up, I refused to admit that I was depressed. I refused to admit I had aggression, anger problems. I refused it all because I didn't think I did. I just thought, nah, me, Cam, depressed? Nah, depression ain't, that's not me. Depression's what them man do when they're all feeling low. I'm Cam, I'm confident, I'm the above them, I'm the character. I'm the one that's energy. I'm energy, I'm Cam. Nah, I didn't realize. Nah, I ain't Cam. I was depressed badly. And this video is gonna be a story of my mental health journey, and I just want to let. I thought I would just let my close friends in. You know what? I'm just happy. I'm happy, and I'm ready to let people into my journey. The same way my friend Keela's poem, she was ready to tell her story. I'm ready to tell an element of mine. The reason I'm doing this video today is because from tomorrow it is Mental Health Awareness Week. It really should be Mental Health Awareness Life. But it's Mental Health Awareness Week tomorrow, and I'm going to kickstart it by talking about my journey. And I really hope that we can impact people for the positive and impact people for the better. This is real. I have not planned this video, even rehearsed it, nothing. This is coming straight from the heart and coming straight from the head. Obviously, I was going to do something to do with mental health, but my mum gave me an article 2 weeks ago that I didn't bother reading. 2 pages. I didn't bother reading it until today. Reading this article forced me to make this video. Because I'm learning. I'm still learning about myself. It's just another confirmation that I was depressed. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read and extract just a couple points from this article that really resonated with me. And then I'm gonna tell my story of mental health. Please make sure you hit the thumbs up to support the channel. It's quite a deep one today. Please hit subscribe if you are new, and hit the bell to be notified for this. Pretty much. First things first, this article is in, my mum's gave it to me, Health and Beauty in Boots. Meet Tim Grayburn. Like 75% of men, he didn't open up about his mental health until a chance discovery changed everything. Cool. 75% of men, by the way. And I'm firmly in that category. Anyway, so I'm just gonna read a very short section and we'll get into the rest of the video. So, my story isn't unique. It's how I came to tackle it that is. In 2004, I was fresh out of university with no real sense of direction. That resonates with me. I didn't know who I was or who I wanted to become. Same? I was lost. I thought my life's purpose was something I was supposed to figure out myself. So I'd wait until I was in bed, alone, to search for meaning in my life. I fell into a rhythm of getting no more than 3 hours sleep a night, pushing me into confusion and exhaustion, which led me to feeling emotionally unstable. Yep. Needless to say, my utter cluelessness about depression and anxiety, I didn't even know I had it, let alone that I had it, oh shit, he says that as well, let alone that I had it, meant I didn't get help. I started withdrawing from loved ones. I thought I was bad at life and wasn't meant to be a part of it. For almost a year, I masked the way I felt with a live fast, die young attitude, getting into fights, crashing cars. Of course, the people I love most, family, began to notice, worrying and questioning, and didn't have any answers. How many of my friends, my close ones, Wanada, Prem's back, the rest of the group chat, the rest of the gang, yeah? How many of you have heard me say, I don't even want to live till I'm old, I don't want to get to 80, like, if I'm gonna die, let me die partying, live fast, die young. How many times have I said that? That was not a healthy mentality. And if you ever come across someone with that mentality, know they're unhinged. The things I've done on that mentality is not stuff to be proud of. You understand? What he's saying triggered me, not in a bad way, in a good way. In like this morning, like hours before I'm recording this video, like I've discovered something new about myself that Even though I've always suffered from mental health issues, I didn't realize depression was added to that list as well, dog. You get me? Like, my mental health struggles have always been to do with anger issues and aggression. Now, I'm not gonna get into the whole life story, but my dad weren't around. My dad was more around as a kid, where I would see him once every 2, 3, 4 weeks. He might bail some weekends. And the thing is, I'm perceptive. I said in my Q&A, I could be shit at every single thing in this world. Perception and a high level of emotional intelligence ain't one of them. As a kid, I'm picking up on all this. Parents don't deep this. Parents don't realize what kids see and what kids hear and what kids think. Especially a kid like me who's alone, who's got a brother but he doesn't live with me. You know, who's got a dad but he doesn't live with me. So I'm asking all these questions. I'm hearing I'm picking up on all this stuff. I never got no answers, not once. I would ask my mum 100 things about my dad, didn't get no answers. I would ask my dad 100 things about my mum, didn't get no answers. Ask your mum, ask your dad. I'll tell you when you're older. Okay, that was the first thing I internalized, divorce. Now I have a perception and understanding of what divorce is, and love and happiness. And I remember one of the things my mum said to me as a kid when I asked, yo, why aren't you and dad together? My mum said to me, it really hit home, and she went, do you want me to be happy? Because, you know, I could stay with your dad and be unhappy, or be happy. If you want me to be happy, right? And that resonated with me. So you get an understand. From a kid, I've got a consciousness of what these adult themes actually are. But I've got no answers though. So I'm a kid trying to make sense of the world, but I'm not getting no answers. Then I grow up into teenage years. I'm asking bigger questions. Why are we here? What's our purpose? What am I doing here? So I start thinking bigger questions, all while my relationship with my dad, for example, is strained. So he becomes less and less around. I stop getting birthday presents from 13 or Christmas present, whatever. He still sends a card and that. You know, he's probably gonna watch this video. He's probably gonna watch this. He knows about our YouTube channel. So, well, go on. So it's gonna be a harsh reality. It's gonna be a wake up call for both my parents actually, because things like this, they're gonna learn a lot about me from videos like this. You understand? And that's why it's important. So, anyway, so my relationship, he's now getting less and less out of the picture, less and less around. I'm taking out my anger because I haven't got a positive male role model, a positive black male role model in my life. I'm wilding out. Exclusions from school, fights. I'm still banned from half the clubs in London to this day. And that's not even a joke. Like, they actually have the system. They all share the same system, and I am literally banned from half the clubs. I'm not trying to glorify, glamorize any of this stuff. It's not good. I'm now misbehaving in school and misbehaving in life. I'm lashing out at my mum because I've got no one else. I'm so angry and I don't understand why. So I'm lashing out at my mum now. Yeah, and I had a conversation with my mum not even that long ago, a couple of months ago, about how bad I actually was, and it made me feel really, really sad actually. Admittedly, there's a lot of things that my mum could have learned and done a lot differently as well, but it doesn't matter. She was never a parent before. I was never a son before. We ain't got no answers. That's the beauty of life. There is no blueprint to life. Everyone's different. So as I'm getting older now, late teenage years, adulthood, I'm off the rails. You understand? I've got no one telling me what to do. I do what I want when I want, and that's it. I'm angry and aggressive because I've got abandonment issues from my dad, because I can't tell him how I'm really feeling, how angry I am, and all the things he's done wrong, and all the things that side of the family's done wrong, and the neglect, and the fact that I'm growing up and I'm juggling identity issues now. The fact that I'm mixed race and I'm looking around and I've got a white family, but I don't feel white. I'm black. Everything about me is black. My DNA, who I identify with, is this. But I can't talk to my mum about this because she doesn't understand. Or when I do, it's ignorance. Not because it's her fault, because she doesn't understand. So it's really, really difficult growing up dealing with this, you know, and not having no one to talk to about this and internalizing this stuff. So when you internalize this stuff, it comes out in mad ways. You lash out. This guy said he crashed his car. I basically wrote my car off. Being reckless. You understand? Fights. I've got scars on my body for the same thing. Do you understand? 2017 was the worst year of my life. About 5 major things happened in my life that year. And from a mental breakdown, I broke up with my girlfriend that year. I got unjustly fired from my job that year. I got into a madness at the start of the year. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And I remember when I got fired and I was driving home. So many mad things had happened before that. So I was driving home here and I was numb. I was numb. I felt nothing. And that moment there, I'll never forget that moment because I changed. I completely changed. My life changed from that moment when I was driving home. From that moment, nothing was going to affect me like that again. Nothing. I was cold. I turned cold. I turned numb because I had literally, you don't understand, I had survived so much in my head alone that I was just driving and I thought, nah, I'm done. Like, I'm done with this. I basically just give up. I give up on kind of like any real, I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but anyway, so my girlfriend didn't know any of this at the time, because I didn't know this. You know, she was telling me about how she's suffering from mild depression and anxiety issues, and I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. I didn't realize that I was internalizing stuff. I was still immature. So when she's saying all this stuff, I didn't know what depression meant. There's been times where I've been in bed for 2-3 months, not leaving bed, spending thousands on Uber Eats, eating disorder, because I spent most of my life binge eating. And I used to binge eat to deal with, because food was the only happiness I had in my life. Big man thing. So I've got identity issues. I've got anger issues. I've got depression from other stuff that's going on in my life where I'm and I binge eat. But the irony is that 20 minutes of satisfaction that I have when I'm eating is 24 hours of sadness and anger, because I'm a fitness guy. Why am I binge eating? Why am I piling on that weight? Why am I doing this? I'm about fitness. Let me kind of summarize now. If something traumatic happens to me in life, or something was quite stressful in life, the first thing I'm doing is I'm going straight into bed. I'm gonna overthink it. I'm gonna toss and turn, not sleep. Right? This didn't happen all my life. You know, people know me. I've been a happy guy. Most people, the reason why I've been so scared to make these videos is because people are gonna be shocked. Cam, you depressed? You're the confident one. You're the energy. You remember, the ones that you least expect, the ones with all that confidence, are the ones that are suffering in silence, because they all want to portray that image to the rest of the world that they are good. You understand? And they're not at all. But the key thing is for me, is that I didn't know. So it's actually the awareness. This is why this video is so real to me. Because that article that I read this morning is making me, it's basically reinforcing the fact that I only started learning that I had depression, say, a year ago. Or that I've had depression in my life a year ago. I refuse to believe it. Cam ain't depressed. Cam's a real man. You get me? Real men don't get depressed. Real men don't cry. Men don't talk about their problems. You're not allowed to. Men shouldn't talk about their problems. Men have to be men. You get me? That was my view. That was always my view. And what this guy says in this article is so true. As soon as he told his girlfriend, as soon as he told his mum, half the problem went. As soon as I told my friends, as soon as I told my mum and burst out and had a mental breakdown, cried in the living room in front of her for the first time in years, yeah, half the problem went. Because I was just, it was like 22 years of stuff that I'd internalized, just coming free. It was emotional. It was madness. Honestly, I loved it. Crying like that was nice. When my granddad passed away, I cried. I think that was the last time I properly cried, so over a year ago. And for me, that was one of the greatest gifts he could ever give me. Making me feel human again. Making me feel alive again. Because I felt so cold all the time. I felt so numb all the time. You understand? From life. And he made me feel. Thinking about it now, I can feel, I'm not gonna cry, but I feel emotional. I feel good. This is amazing. The fact that I can even talk about this is so nuts. And the fact that I'm talking about it so easily is so nuts. But anyway, this was my journey. So I had all these things going on in my mind with identity issues, anger issues, depression from other stuff that I was dealing with. I was in a toxic relationship with my girlfriend at the time. She was incredibly toxic because she was dealing with stuff. I was incredibly toxic because I was dealing with stuff, but we didn't know. So we weren't happy with it. We weren't happy with each other because we weren't happy in ourselves. We were dealing with loads of shit, plus other stuff as well. But actually, you know what? I was going to talk about how I dealt with this stuff, but I don't want to make this video too long. And because it's Mental Health Awareness Week, maybe I can spread these videos out. So yeah, you know what? That's part one. I wasn't planning this. I haven't planned anything, so forgive me if it's a bit disjointed and stuff. But what I'm going to do in tomorrow's video, I'm going to talk about part two of the story and how I dealt with my mental health issues. Because the way I dealt with it was not healthy. So I would rather tell people how I dealt with it, to teach people the wrong way to do it, and then tell people what did work rather than just giving advice and stuff. So I really hope you learned something new about me and maybe something resonated with you in this video. Please hit the thumbs up to support the channel. Please subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you tomorrow for part 2.